Hey guys, Bink here with Bink's Corvair Addiction. I'm going to give you the short version of this story first, and then you can decide if you want to watch it, because it's kind of long and it goes throughout a few days. I was in the house and I popped on my phone in the afternoon, and this was a few days ago, and it said estate sale on Facebook Marketplace, and the picture showed a Corvair motor. You know where we're going with this. So I popped through a few more pictures and looked, and a few more Corvair parts. And it said everything had to be gone by the following day. Basically everything there, almost everything there was for sale on the property and it had to be gone by the end of the next day. So short version is, Geronimo and I jumped the truck, went down there with some cash, and we ended up buying a bunch of stuff and getting in arguments with some knucklehead. One thing was just over this stupid license plate. And we had to buy what you could as quick as you could because things were going fast. Knucklehead was grabbing everything. And I threw the lady some money and told her I'd take the Corvair stuff, and there was Corvair parts mixed in with Volkswagen parts, and there was lots of tools, lots of all kinds of stuff. And I threw her $200. I said, I'll give you $200. I'll buy all this here and some tools and some other stuff. And that's what this video is about. And after all said and done, going through a whole truckload of junk and parts and rust and dust and Corvair parts, Volkswagen parts, tools, this, that, and the other, I ended up with a stack of Volkswagen parts, and I picked through and put it on Facebook Marketplace because I'm not into Volkswagens, and I ended up selling that today for $200. So it's a kind of interesting story, the whole deal. And got some Corvair motors and some parts and tools and pieces and this, that, and the other. And that's what this video is about. So it's up to you if you want to watch it all or not. I don't know. It's pretty interesting, pretty cool. Anyways, here we go. Hey guys, Bink here with Bink's Corvair Addiction. So I did it again. Yesterday was Saturday, and I was in the house. It was about 3 o'clock. Joe had started cooking ham at 2. We were going to eat at 4 and have ham with the rest of the fixings from the Thanksgiving. And we were putting a puzzle together, spending some quality time with the wife, you know. Tomorrow, Saturday and then Sunday, and then back to work and every Monday. And I took a break from the puzzle and smelt the ham. I was hungry, and I pulled up my phone, and Facebook Marketplace, one of the first things pops up was a estate sale. And it was just posted 30 minutes earlier. And the first picture showed a Corvair motor. Here we go. You know where I'm getting at. And then I'm like, okay, weird, posted 30 minutes ago. And it's posted like 2:30, it's 3 o'clock. And it says, I have to get rid of everything by tomorrow. Giving stuff away, selling stuff cheap, whatever it said on there. And so I looked through the pictures, and there was a little shed. I seen some Corvair motors torn apart, stacked up, and kind of zoomed in on pictures, and there was no location or nothing for it. So I'm like, I told Joe, I said, look, there's, estate sale. And it was posted in Gilbert, Chandler, buy-sell trade thing. So I'm like, okay, it's not that far away. And so I ended up messaging them, and I didn't hear nothing back for like 15 minutes. I was getting it. I'm like, come on, I want to know what's going on. And then I said, I'd be interested in the Corvair motors. Do you still have them? Address, please. And about 15 minutes goes by, and it just sent an address. I said, okay, so I looked up the address here. It's like 50 minutes away in Phoenix. I'm like, oh man. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to drive out there if they sold everything, because I don't know how long this sale's been going on or whatever. So I messaged her again. I says, do you still have the motors? And I says, I'm like an hour away. I says, I don't want, basically I don't want to drive all the way out there and they're gone and stuff. And then I left her phone number. I said, please call me. And she just replied back, yes. And that was like another 15 minutes later. So here it's like 3:30. We're supposed to eat at 4. She's like, just go. She knew. She goes, we can eat when you get back. So I came out, got Geronimo, and because I knew we'd be trying to lift motors and stuff if I ended up buying stuff. So this is what I did. I did get some Corvair motors. I got some Volkswagen stuff. There's stuff inside the truck. And it's a whole long kind of interesting story, the whole thing. The house was sold. They have to have it all emptied, whatever, by today is Sunday morning. So they gotta have it by this evening. And there was I could have brought another load of stuff, So anyways, what it is, I just kind of looked around at everything and I says, I'll give you $200 and I'll take the motors and the Volkswagen stuff, and there was some other parts here and there. And she said she had pictures on her phone that she had wanted, or pictures on her phone that she had some Corvair manuals and books, and she had some Volkswagen, some cool buggy books and stuff. I said, yeah, take all that stuff, So, and some tools I'll take, and there was a lot of tools and stuff there too. So. Yeah, there's a bit of a story to this one. Should I have bought it? I don't know. I had fun. And they're just, the one motor is kind of complete. The other one is, and they're just early models. The other two are just kind of tore apart parts, So I'll kind of just figure out what I all have here. I think this is Volkswagen, but I grabbed them anyways. It was going in the dumpster. And basically, there was boxes and boxes of house stuff. I'd look at something. She goes, and she's running around, kind of frantic with everything. And I'd look at some of the boxes. There's something in there you want? And I said, well, maybe this. She goes, just take the whole box, please take the whole box. I mean, I would need a moving truck to take, and I just don't want to drag all the stuff home, So, but anyways, I'll pull through some of this stuff and show you what I had hauled home and the rest of the story and then some. All right, guys, it's Monday. I didn't finish cleaning nothing up. I just spent the rest of the Sunday in with Jill in the house and came out here Monday morning. It was cold out, mid 40s. Started cleaning up some of the small stuff I took out of the truck that I had in there, and just started cleaning through it, and warmed up a little bit outside, and started going through it all. So here, let me show you what this mess is. All right, well, this is the stuff around here, and hey, Geronimo.
Good morning, Bing. How are you?
Yeah.
What you working on?
Cleaning this mess up. I don't know if I should have got it or left it.
Well, now you have it.
So the deal was, it was a Saturday, late in the afternoon. I don't think we got there till like after 4 or something. And, the lady was just getting rid of everything. There was a guy there was taking everything. And, I needed help because I knew I was probably going to come back with some motors. So I asked Geronimo if he'd come and help load the motors. And then, so there was this one guy there that was taking everything, and me and him kind of got into it because the deal was that I had bought all the Corvair stuff. When I got there, I walked around and I had kind of seen what they kind of had there, and I says, I'll give you $200. I didn't know what I was all buying for the parts, because there was this bins and stuff was kind of going quick. This one guy was grabbing every damn thing. So I said, I'll give you $200 for the Corvair parts, and there was a Volkswagen stuff mixed in with it. And so I didn't know what I was getting, and it was kind of like, she was like, just grab it by the box, she wants it gone. So there was she took me to show me some Corvair parts that she had in near the house in the breezeway, and they were gone. I think it was this other guy was taking the stuff already. And then about a half hour later, he goes, oh yeah, I got a Corvair grill and some hubcaps and stuff loaded in my vehicle. You want to see them? And I went there and I was just like, well, I'm like, dude, you know, I bought all the Corvair stuff and, you know, you're taking everything here, you know, and he said, you can take the caps. And he said, the grill I'm keeping because it's cool. And basically, he's like, you can just go jump in a lake. So then I kind of got into him later with him in the shed. There was this license plate here and it was hanging. It was take anything you wanted. The lady just wanted the stuff not to go in the dumpster. So I grabbed it. He said, what is that? I said, it's just an old license plate, no big thing. And he goes, well, give me it. And he goes, I want it. And he goes, I gave you those caps. They're not even Corvair caps, but they were, the lady had gave me those and that grill, but he took it. So, and I said, no, I said, you're taking every dang thing around here. And he's like, that's the way it goes. I got to get what I can get. And he kind of swore at me and raised my voice, and she heard it and stepped in. you heard it, eh?
It was a hell of an adventure.
Yeah. It was
high energy.
It was kind of high, yeah.
High energy, lots of tension, and but we got out, and we have what we need.
Yeah, I didn't want to start fighting with nobody over nothing, so I just kind of didn't care. Like this sink, I told her, I said, it's a really cool sink. It's aluminum, looks crusty, but it'll clean up, and I could put new pipe and new seals and then get it to work. And I said, and she said, you like that? I said, yeah. And then later, I was loading it up, or grabbing it, Geronimo and I was pulling it out, and she started like crying and stuff. The young lady was just all her dad's stuff, and he passed. So, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, I won't take it. She goes, no, I'm happy that you're taking it. I said, yeah, it needs to get saved, and she was very, very excited and happy about that. But it was like basically, you just go look into a box or a bin, and she's like, is there anything you can use? And I'd be like, well, maybe this or that. She goes, just take the whole thing, please take it. So, I mean, and I was just trying to take things I could use. Like, here's a tire rim checker, the widths. I mean, I don't have one, I'll use it. Now, are the motors worth much of anything? Not much, but I paid $200 for everything, and I'm just gonna put a value of $50 on that one and $25 each on that, even though it's probably not even hardly worth that. Most people wouldn't probably even give you that for it. And the sink, I'm gonna put a $100 value on it, at least, just the way it is, because it's cool. I could put that up for sale, but I don't wanna. I'm keeping it. I don't usually sell anything. Now the Volkswagen stuff here, yeah, I'm gonna go through it, make a pile of whatever's all Volkswagen, because I'm not into the Volkswagen thing. And there's like new stuff in here. There's new points and condensers and parts, and I don't know about any of these carbs. You know, I know some guys run that kind of stuff on their Corvairs. I'm gonna ask Gary. Most of this probably he's gonna just be like, get rid of it, because Gary just likes just to run regular carburetors on there. So, I mean, there's a set here too. Obviously he was into maybe buggies and stuff. I did like the whips, the long whips. Those things gotta be, I don't know, they're like 9 feet tall. They're metal whips. I thought those were really cool. And she said her dad had them on there. They had a whole bunch of fiberglass ones here too, but they don't last for crap out here in Arizona. They dry out eventually. And these here, 140, Jeff, the machinist, was over with his wife on Saturday, and he brought those over and gave them to me. I gave him a Greenbrier driver's door he needed, and I got some other stuff I have for him. But yeah, like, you know, for the valves, I'll use it, you know. There's a pipe bender. I cleaned, this stuff was, had a light rust on it. I wire wheeled it early this morning, it was cold. And on these punches, and just cover them with oil. There was a ton of air tools there. There was a ton of tools there. There was boxes stacked on top of boxes and boxes and boxes, and that guy was grabbing it all. And, you know, Volkswagen, but the end of the needle's missing. But like I said, he's got the gauge for testing your pressure. So you know, he made, put together. New tap set. You know, there was lots and lots of tools up to 1-inch drive. And that guy was just grabbing it all. And then, like I says, I bought all the Corvair stuff. I says, I threw a couple $100, you know, and he's like, I did too. And I was like, I think every time she was with walking around doing something else, he just kept loading and loading, and he lived around the corner and drove home and unloaded, came back and was loading up again. So yeah, then when Jeff was over too on Saturday, he needs a rear window for a back of a Greenbrier, and just a door one. And he was telling me, because I was like, that rubber's hard as a rock, you know, and for about here. And I said, well, we'll have to try to cut it to get it off. And he said, yeah, somebody just took like a scraper and just kept heating it up with a torch and melting it. Well, I found this tool there. The box was nothing left of it, but it has attachments with cutters on it for cutting plastic and rubber. I'm gonna plug it in, hope I don't get electrocuted. But it's got all the different cutters here for cutting different shapes. And I'm gonna try this on that rubber out there. I bet you if this thing works, this thing will do the job. She did have a bunch of Corvair manuals and Volkswagen manuals and buggy manuals and stuff that were really cool. She was showing me on her phone, but she couldn't find a box of them, or she said somebody else that wasn't supposed to take them took them. And then like the CB stuff, she's just like, do you want any of it? I'm like, well, maybe a thing or two for the whips. And then she's just like, she wanted everything gone, so she's just like, take the whole box. You gotta take the whole box. So, and even she started giving me manuals of stuff that I don't even have a use for. But I think when we go out Sunday morning out to the car swap in Glendale, I'll bring these couple manuals that I don't have a use for. And I know a few people out there, I'm just gonna give them to them. Hey, sell them or give them to somebody, you know? So yeah, it was kind of an adventure, craziness there, but did I do okay? I don't know. I think I did okay. I'll sell the Volkswagen stuff for, even if I get $100 for it all, if I can. And it was still fun going there and picking. I enjoyed it. But it was a little tension though. I mean, like I said, that guy was just taking, there was so many tools. There was porta powers. There was tool sets for doing, gauge sets for doing your air conditioner, all in the boxes. He didn't even know what half the stuff was. And he's just like, it's mine, it's fine. So I'm just like, whatever. I just wanted stuff that I could use really, or find like Gary could use it or something like that. I'm gonna keep these though. I know these are Volkswagen, but I can always chop it and build it into something that goes onto an exhaust. So that's when you're a welder, you can do all that. So yeah, that's this pick. Now I gotta clean my truck out. It's a mess. Yeah, so now I gotta clean my truck. It's getting warmer out. I had to go get some shorts on, get rid of them pants, and yeah, it was a little stressful there. Another thing too is like in the shed, like I said, you had to buy it just quick because it was gone. It was gonna get dark in another hour, and it was almost dusk when we left. And so the parts are mixed together, so you don't know what you're getting. That's why I told her I'd take the Corvair and I wanted the Corvair stuff. I said there's Volkswagen stuff mixed in it. I'll just buy it all and go through it. And she just didn't, you know, it's got to go. And she was very nice, but she was very chaotic, very emotional because she was kind of attached to some things, and she was trying to get some stuff out for herself. And like I was in the shed, I had and what we had did is I said, let's make a stack, Geronimo, of the stuff near where the truck was. And I backed the truck. She opened up a side gate and backed the truck up in under the property. It was really weird property on a hill. It was very weird there. And it was just a little house that had a bunch of little additions on. And then there were a couple other little tiny, little weird houses there. I don't know if anyone was living or what. But so we got the truck in there. We pulled the 3 motors out, and then there was a little high spot that went up back. So we dollied them up to that high spot, backed the truck up so we didn't have to lift them as high. And me and Geronimo, we got the 2 in. Excuse me. And then the one that's more complete, we had a third guy help us that was there. And then we moved the truck over near where our stack was going to be. So we were just I was telling Geronimo, just take this and sit there, take this, sit there. And then I said, I want her to okay that we're taking this stuff so there's nothing that she wants and stuff like that. Meanwhile, this other knob is just, he's parked down on the side and he's just it's going. You know, the stuff is just going out of there. And he said he paid her $200. And if that guy wasn't there, I would have seriously probably threw her, you know, a few $100s or more, whatever. I would have made it. I always try to make it fair. And I would have made a deal probably maybe on all the tools, but I don't need them. But what I would have liked to do was went through the boxes, because there was some big stand-up boxes. And I would have liked to go through and just see if there's some Corvair stuff or some specialty tools for it and stuff. But he was just, that's mine. So a little while later, when I did go into the shed at the time, he was grabbing this. I said, hey, that's Corvair stuff, you know. He knew that too, and he was still digging and taking. And even then later, he knew we had a pile by our truck. And I came back and he was grabbing. I said, hey, what, you know, he was just a knucklehead. And I wasn't so mad, upset with the guy as I was at him taking advantage of this lady, you know. And like I said, the hubcaps and the grill and stuff, I was down there and she goes, oh, there was actually a Corvair pile there and stuff. She goes, it's gone. I pretty much know who took it. And then she said, yeah, take that grill and the hubcaps. And then he ended up taking them because I was stacking them with other stuff. So, yeah. And then before we left, she says, I want to come into the house. And she wanted to show me a few things to see if I wanted them. And I was just, she was tired. She was worn out. And I didn't want to spend too much more time there, but they had literally, it was a pack, almost like a hoarder house. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like it stunk, and it wasn't like it was a big mess, but there was shelves all over the place. Lots of little rooms, shelves up high, and just with bins and bins and bins of stuff and craft and this and that. And she wanted to show me a wood jigsaw thing and stuff. I was just like, I could have really spent another hour or two there if it wasn't getting late and dark. But I said, what is all this stuff? I said, is that buttons? And she had some big tote of buttons and some cans of them. She goes, oh yeah, it's my mom's, and her elderly mom was in like their little living room, sitting on a couch, and just stuff piled everywhere. Kind of a trail through there. But and then she says, Ma, he wants to buy your buttons. How much? And she said, well, how much you give me for them? And I said, I'll give you $20. And she was, yeah, because it was going to go in a dumpster. And there was a 40-yard there. And what the deal was, they had to be out by Sunday, by end of day Sunday. And then the new owners own it. And they're just going to go in there and demolish everything and clear it out and build like a multi-million-dollar house there. Because I guess they owned all the property up the hill. But, and I could have went back. There was tanks, oxygen, acetylene, welding tanks, a lot of them. There was probably 15 of them at least. And she was telling me, take them. I had the stuff in the truck. I would have had to reorganize it to try to get them in there. I don't have a use for them, but I know they're worth some money for trading in, or somebody has, can use them, buy them from you or whatever. As long as even you can trade them in if they're even out of date, I've traded them in before for bigger bottles. I just didn't want, and it's 50 minutes one way. I wasn't going to go back the next day. So anyways, yeah, that's this pick here. Now I got to clean this up, find homes for it because I hate messes. I should be working on that under there, working on it. I'll be under it tomorrow morning. I thought I'd get under there today anymore. I don't know, I was gonna say something else. Rambling. Oh yeah, I got someone else contacted me that has Corvair stuff that I bought. Well, the lady I bought this from original. Oh no, the lady, her husband built this one here, Howard Bosel, and I got the other chopped one, the turquoisey green one from her, and I've been to her place once or a couple times, and she messaged me. She says, "You want to, come by," and she's trying to clean it up and get what you can get for it. And she's got 2 Corvairs there too, but I think she ain't gonna let them go cheap, So, though I don't need them neither, but if she wanted something for a reasonable price, I'd pick them up, So I gotta look, see if the one's a 4-door. I want a 4-door. Jill knows I want a 4-door. I don't know what year's the best year to have, 60, 61, 60, I don't know. I prefer it to be an early model. I like the way the little lip work looks on them. So yeah, I got that. Maybe I can get there later today. I hate to go any more this week, but I got to stay here, but she's just down the road. So anyways, that was fun. I do enjoy digging around buying crap. I think I did okay on it. I'll sell the Volkswagen stuff and get what I get for it, and that's the way it is. And I'll be out in Glendale swap meet with Gary on Sunday, and walking around there. It's gonna Hey, holy shit. Excuse me. Look at. Well, don't go breaking this stuff. Well, I posted this yesterday on on Facebook Marketplace. I posted the Volkswagen stuff, and here I posted the Volkswagen stuff. I took some pictures, and I put on there. Don't ask me what it all exactly is. I says I don't really know everything much about it. I'm selling it all one price. Take it all, $200. I was gonna put out there 100. I said, well, maybe I'll put 100. I said, I put 200 because they always get you down on it anyway. So, so I got 2 messages last night. And one guy messaged me, he wanted to come look at it, and then he sent me back. He goes, I got a whole pile of Volkswagen stuff, and I was only looking at buying the lenses and stuff, and I don't need any more junk. And then the other guy is like, I want to come over there about sometime after 10, and once traffic slows down, and he goes, he wanted it. So I'm like, hey, if I get the $200 for it, it pays for everything else here, kind of. So other than my time and all that. But so like I said, it's Tuesday morning. This is here for him, and I'll finish putting this stuff away. I still got the 2 motors in my truck. My truck's kind of clean, but I'll bring that around, and when the sun comes up in another hour or so, hour, maybe 2 hours when it warms up, I'll pull that stuff out of there and get working under here. Right, Jesus, don't go breaking the stuff. That's what they wanted, is those lights, the lenses. They kind of looked, I see you get about $50 for a pair of them. So, yeah, if somebody can use it, good. All right, so now it's Tuesday morning, and the sun came up. I'm out here. I got my tractor, my loader. Geronimo came out to help, but I said, I can do it. I went ahead and took my cordless drill with one of my extension wire wheels. I welded on there, and I cleaned up, and I looked at the numbers of this one and this one, and I like to tag my stuff, so I'm not. And I'm even getting even better. I'm writing it down in a notepad so I know what I all have laying around here. This one here is a 6160, between 6164, 89, 102, or 110. It's a YN. And I did turn it over. It is free. Obviously, you can see they had it into a buggy, and they got these where your cooler is. They must have a different cooler with a fan. Maybe that's how they run the coolers on them. And this one here is just a 61, 64, 80, 95. I didn't try to spin it over yet. I don't know if I can. I can if I put a wrench on it. And then I got to pull the outer last piece out over there, and we'll get these things put away. All right, I checked the serial number on this one. The last one here, it's YN, another 61 to 64. Yeah. Probably should oil this, grease it up, or spray some penetrating oil on this thing just because it's going to be sitting. Why not? You know, let it sit. So I'm going to find a home for these two. I wish I would have a bell hosing on it. I could put one on there, I guess. They're nice standing up on the cart. I got more room standing up on there. I have to get some shelving racking already somewhere. So I'll take this one, and that way I kind of know what I have. That was the fun stuff with this pick. I might have another one to go to this week over down the road here, and they have some motors too, but I don't know if she'll let it go cheap. There's a 140 and some old, maybe a late model there, parts of a 140, but she thinks they're worth like a lot of money, some stuff. So I don't know. It's not, but it's not a complete motor. It's just parts of a 140. But anyways, that's this. I'm gonna get this stuff put away so I can get working. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Corvair Addiction.